Okay, let us start our article review this morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Uh, my respected examiners, Pak Asrori, Bu Wiwit, and my supervisee, yeah, my student, yeah, Bu Azminatul Alfai Rohmah, yeah, Azmi, yeah. Today is the article review. Yeah, I think please don't get me wrong. Yeah, the article review is meant to assist you with the revision. Of course, during the process of the dialogue here, the question and answer. I mean, not that question and answer, but the feedback provision. You can also ask question, ask me if things are not clear for the purpose of your revision. Yeah, and during the this feedback provision, the examiners, Pak or reviewers, Pak Asrori and Bu Wiwit, can judge, yeah, the quality of your work so that in the end, the score for your article will be put in simultaneously. And you have an obligation to revise the article according to the feedback today and ask for the acknowledgement, ask for the, or is it permission, yeah, to upload the revision in the simultaneously. Okay, so the head or the chair of the exam today is Pak Asrori. Pak Asrori, can you start the exam?
Okay, thank you, Pak Munir, as the Vice of Azminatul Alfai Rohmah. Good morning, Mbak Azmi.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations for your article review, as Pak Munir told that. Yes, not. I think that not many lecturers do direct article review. But you had it is fortunate for you that today we are meeting and then we are going to have an article review. Of course, today you are going to have to get a lot of questions from Bu Wiwit and also from me and of course from Pak Munir, and then the suggestions from the supervisors and also the examiners is going to be worth revision for you. Let me share my screen. Which one? Do you see the screen? Yes.
Sir.
Okay, good. Yes, reading the title of your article. Because we have limited the article by having only portraying what is happening on the students, their experience using the TED talks in learning public speaking, and without talking about the direct impact of the of TED talks by public speaking. That is why then the result of the article is also stops on only portraying how the students use the TED talks in their public speaking without seeing atau further talking about the result of their the performance or the achievement of the performance of after using the TED talks. That is why then reading till the end of your the part of your article, I think this it can be a deeper research by seeing the impact of the TED talks. But let's see. Not many notes, not many suggestions I get from the title. I think you missed the T here. Do you think so? Yeah. your first sentence to the second sentence seems that it needs a kind of bridging sentence, because it seems that you jump from the first sentence to the second sentence. In the first sentence, you talk about the difficulties or the importance of the speaking, blah, 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 blah. And then you jump directly to, related to that, yeah, this research aims to investigate the English department students' experience in TED talk without having any sentence, yeah, leading to the use of the TED talk. Yeah, that is why there seems that the sentence jump from talking about speaking in general, and then your aims in conducting the research. Nah, perhaps nanti ada di bagian bawah, you talk about it, but you only talk about the general description of this course in public speaking. But I think you need to talk more, you need to explain more about the difference between presentation skill, presentation as the previous studies you took, for your article or for your research, and also because you said that this is the gap. This is the gap. The public speaking is the gap that no research done before, the use of the TED talks in the public speaking. But seems that you need to explain in detail or explain more about what's the difference between the presentation and also public speaking. Because presentation also belongs to one of the public speaking. Kalau di penelitian sebelumnya kan fokusnya was only on the presentation, dari the use of TED talks in the presentation. And you think that there was no research on the use of TED talks on the public speaking. To make sure that you know the difference between the presentation and of the public speaking, you need to explain more, or perhaps not only the general description of the course, public speaking. You have to give an explanation on what is done by the students of English department in the public speaking class. Apain saja mereka di situ. Nah, apakah presentation belongs to that one? Yes or no? Nah, you have to see that. That is why then you say that public speaking is the gap of the research. Otherwise, public speaking belongs to one of them. Then you have to give and only some minor mistakes on language. Kuning-kuning gini berarti nanti language, and I can send it to you, and then you can read the article. As I told you, that seems that these three questions only portray the experience of the students using the TED talks, without talking about a further result on the how the TED talk affects the students in their performance, speaking performance. But I think if it is so, then it is okay then, and then the result of your research is enough for that. Kayak gini kuning Mbak ya. Nah, sometimes putting experts atau experts quotation should be followed by your own experience atau your action on your research. Just take an example. Jadi contoh ini nih Mbak. Ini kan the quantitative blah 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 blah. Answer the question and test predetermined hypothesis. Do you have hypothesis in your research?
Yes, sir.
What is the hypothesis?
So
do you write it on your article? In which part?
No, I didn't write it.
Nah, that's it. Ini mungkin beberapa some points you have to pay attention is that when you put some other experts yeah, experts notes or expert quotation, it should be in line with what you have done. Kan gitu ya. If you do not do that, yeah, if you didn't do that in your research, seems that you have to omit using the experts, ya, note. Jadi kalau nggak sesuai dengan apa yang kamu lakukan, harusnya tidak dipakai gitu. Because I'm going to put the experts notes there, yeah, based on what you have, what you did in your research. But if you think that you have your hypothesis on your research, now put it where to put, or is it important to have the hypothesis for your research? Nah, consulted Pak Munir. Yeah, perhaps it also happens in some parts. Yeah, in some parts by using wait. Now this is the researcher conducted the case study, which refers now. It is also experts, yeah, or experts notes. Now, one more that instead of only putting the the original sentence of the experts to be part of your article, you have to one more, you have to relate it with what you have done. Did you do this? If you do, then tell what you did. Ya, tell what you did. Ya, karena sini tampaknya pokoknya di apa namanya? Diletakkan aja, ditempelkan aja. Padahal perhaps some parts of the expert's opinion was not the things you did in your research. That is why then if you did what expert did, what expert said here, then you have to explain that. Yeah. Okay. I do not know whether there is a difference or not between literature and also education, because your subjects were from literature and education, weren't they? Yeah, Mbak Azmi.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I do not know. I didn't read the general description of the public speaking between education and literature. Tampaknya kok sedikit berbeda gitu. Because you used the subjects from both both study programs. Nah, ini bedanya nanti ya. In literature public speakingnya ini. In education public speakingnya ini. Sehingga we can see that those two study programs are the right subjects, ya. Jadi harus di cover, jelaskan. I didn't put a lot of much notes on your results, because the results of your article or your research answered the 3 questions, ya, tapi harusnya ini penelitian bisa lebih deep. But if you have limited your research on that and it is enough, then it is okay. Perhaps we will later will give you a lot of suggestions on the result of your article. I don't know whether A is the name of the person here. Atau ada yang kurang? A.
Nama belakang.
Nama depannya siapa?
Maria A. Yes.
Okay. And et al. Yeah.
I think that's not accurate way of writing the because we don't put initial, we put the name.
The name. Yeah, the name of person. I think it is very short. Yeah, it is very short article. Because because you have limited the questions of the article by those, and without a very deep research on the effect of the use of TED talks. And I think that is enough for me. With it, you can go.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Pastor. Asmi. How should I call you? What's your nickname? I forget your nickname. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Asrori. So, beside the missing T in your title, you also need to reorganize your, especially in your abstract and introduction, because it is here, jump here and there. So, actually, many students do it. Sorry, Munir. So, I don't know why, but you need to read again, okay? And then to classify which is which. So if you talk about public speaking, finish your explanation about public speaking before you go to other things, because I see in your explanation you jump from public speaking to TED Talk to public speaking as a course, and back to TED Talk and technology and so on and so forth. So I think it will be more, it will be a lot easier for your reader to follow if you talk about public speak, starting from public speaking, the needs of being able to speak publicly, organizedly, well, and the function of TED Talk and supporting that, talking about the references in a very organized way. So it will be very helpful, and it will give you more opportunity to be accepted in the, what is it, in the journal, because you're sending it in a journal, and journal reviewers usually cruel, if I may say. So you need to organize it. Okay, now different from Pak Asrori, who write what is it, directly in the PDF. I didn't write it in the PDF, so if I may share, I write here. Okay. So check the spelling. Okay, like I've mentioned previously, the logic and organization of the sentences. Okay. In the abstract, what do you mean by last two sentences in your abstract? Let me. You can read the abstract yourself, okay, and try to answer my question yourself. What do you mean by that? Think of it. If you, because you mentioned this. This research is expected to promote the use of TED Talks videos as authentic learning resources for learning public speaking among students. Moreover, this research is also expected can be used to strengthen authentic input for learning English language acquisition. I don't think that these two statements should be here, because I don't really see the real connection of it. Okay, so please just write something which is related to the finding and the discussion of yours. Okay, the finding and the discussion of your work. And then the next one here, grammar. Please check the grammar, especially passive active. I still find passive active. Okay, I put there. Next, number 4. What's your focus? You focus on verbal language or only on oh yeah, non-verbal. Ini N-nya kok iya. Non-verbal language, because I see that all your discussion mainly about non-verbal language used in TED Talk. How about the verbal language? Which one? Well, what's your focus actually? Because if your focus is only about non-verbal language, I think it's better for you to put it in the title. So it will not mislead your reader.
Non-verbal language meant that some of the participants of this research admit that they also imitate or practice the verbal language, like in the terms of pronunciation.
Okay, so you need to clarify your focus. Okay, related to that about pronunciation, I will talk about it later. Okay, sabar, masih banyak tuh. Gak banyak kok sih, 18 or 17. Okay. Now, Okay, reorganize. It's already actually the repetition of what I have mentioned in the second one. 6. Now, no need to explain what quantitative, qualitative, and survey means, because it seems that in your method, you still explain such thing. I never find such thing in the article. So we assume that the reader already understand the meaning of each terms. And what you need to explain more is to, to explain what you did in more specific and in more detail. Okay, in more specific way, in more detail. I see that you explain some terms, just like the one mentioned by Pastori. You mentioned the terms, but like for example, you mentioned in wait, let me see. In method, the last paragraph of your method, you mentioned Ari et al. Here, okay, about the stages. I don't think you need to mention that. What you need to do is you explain what you did when you are doing memorizing, organizing, coding, reducing, interpreting, representing, what you did there in that stage. It will be, it will help your reviewer and your reader to understand what you do, okay, to get your data, to analyze your data. So, the next one. Let me stop shuffling. Let me stop shuffling. Let me share again. Okay, wait. Oh, salah. Ini yang harus saya suruh ini. Tadi TED-Talks yang saya tonton ya, saya cek TED-Talks. Now, next. Number 7. Page 4, part 3. What's the difference between data and source of the data? Here, data and source of data. Because you mentioned this one, all of the data and source of data were obtained from the participant answers. Can you get source of the data from participant answers? So be careful with this kind of thing. Okay. Do you know the difference between data and sources of the data?
I thought that the source of the data come from the students' link of the TED Talks YouTube that they put in the questionnaire.
You sure?
Yes.
You can ask your advisor again about it, okay? So that's my questions to you about the statement about data and sources of the data. Are you sure that they can be obtained from participant answer? And then the next one, number 8, page 4, paragraph 4 and 5. Now, that's what I asked you to do previously, okay? So try to explain more specifically, no need to put definition related to methodological terms, because we don't usually find it in a journal article. Okay, next question, still related to methodology. About your viewers, about your participants here, are they really or genuine TED Talk viewers, or they watch TED Talk because you ask them to watch? I'm just curious about it.
They genuinely watch TED Talks video, ma'am.
Oh, okay. They generally watch TED Talk video. So how did you know that they watch TED Talk video, or they just distribute the questionnaire asking whether they watch TED Talk or not, something like that?
Since the nature of the participants were voluntary participants, so I only distributed the questionnaire, ma'am, through the group. So I asked the students of 2019 and also 2020 to help me to distribute the questionnaire in their group, ma'am.
Mhm.
So the students who feel that they watch TED Talks videos for learning public speaking can freely to participate by filling out the questionnaire and also by joining the interview session, ma'am.
Okay, so you found 20 participants, right?
Yes,
So all 20
participants.
participants here are genuine TED Talk viewers. So perhaps you can put this information in your article that they why your participants is only few, because when you give preliminary questionnaires trying to find out whether they watch the talk or not, for example, it seems that there are only 20 students, okay, acknowledge that they watched that talk and agree, okay, to join your research as participant. So you can mention it in your article. Okay. Now let's continue to finding and discussion. I still read a bit about method. I think it's no need to mention things related to method again in your finding and discussion. You just focus on the finding and then the discussion. No need to mention, like I asked them to choose one of the answer or one of the options, so you know you don't need to mention that. If you want to mention it in the part, the method part, not in what is it, not in finding part. Now 11. Why did you use checkbox? Oh, why didn't you use checkbox? Because when I see your Google form, okay, you attach your Google form, right? I for this question, what kind of video you or the students watch? You make it multiple choice. Why not checkbox? How if they actually watch all topics? Why? Why? Can you tell me why?
Because I want to find what kind of TED Talks videos that they use mostly, ma'am, the most video that they use. So after decide in the questionnaire, in the interview session, I also asked them why did you choose that kind of TED Talks videos for learning public speaking? So I want to know further answer of the reason in choosing education, for example, like that, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So
We
you
use
focus on
mostly,
the most one.
yes, focus on the most.
Then it goes to the next one here. How many kinds of TED Talk videos are available in your YouTube? What do you mean by other? What can be included into others?
So actually,
Because you know why I ask you this? Because who knows that one topic which you put in others is the topic they actually most watch, and it will make it biased. What is actually what topics belong to others here? Other.
so the other one, some of the participants answered like self-improvement and then psychology, like that, ma'am. So actually, I adapted the kind of TED Talks videos in the questionnaire is from the TED Talks website, ma'am. So in the TED Talks website, we can choose our preference, like for education topic, economical, and so on, ma'am.
Okay, well, if you say that in the TED Talk website, they classify the topic that way, so you should mention that why you create your questionnaire that way, because it is based on TED Talk. Because you have option actually to make your own way of classification. You actually have an option to do that. But if you say that I don't do that because I just take it from the website, because in the website they classify it that way, so I make my questionnaire that way. So you have a basis to mention why you make it, or you mention it only education, culture, entertainment, and others, right? Is it on the fourth? Education, entertainment, culture, entertainment, and others. Am I right? If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned
Yes, ma'am. Education, entertainment, economical, and actually many more topic, ma'am. So I make it in short.
No, I mean, do they in their website, do they mention others, or they mention all the topics?
See all topics, ma'am.
See all
After the
topics.
topics and in the bottom, see all topics.
So you need to clarify this kind of thing, you know, because it limits your participant option. It limits your participant options because there is possibility. Well, you know, one or twice when somebody asks me to fill in questionnaire, sometimes I don't feel represented by the options because the options are not there. And if I answer other, well, perhaps before answer other, I will try to put myself in the situation that, okay, actually between the three here, I can choose one of the three, something like that before I answer. Okay, now let's continue to 12. Okay, and 12, it is a suggestion related to your discussion. I have seen that you try to put reference to compare or to support your finding and the discussion of your finding with theories, but I hope, I expect that you put more references. Okay. Next, 13. Masih ada Bentar ya. Page 5 and 6. Now, actually, this is my when we are talking about the use, because you are mentioning how they use laptop. So when every time I watch video and every time I ask my students to watch video, this is my concern about subtitles. How about subtitles? Did the participant use it? Do you have any information about whether they use subtitle or not, and whether the subtitles also help them to understand things, or even on the other hand, the subtitles is never used because they feel that subtitle is a distraction for their focus when they are learning.
Actually, I didn't ask them whether they use subtitles or not, ma'am.
Because actually it exists, right? In the top, they can use subtitle or closed caption. So if you use a video and there is such feature available, like or not, you have to ask them whether they use it or not, because it is related to their learning. And you also mentioned acquisition in your abstract. How, if I may ask you, what is the contribution of the video if they are watched without subtitle to their acquisition? So you will be able to answer later if there is such question. So that's my question. Next question: how many times each participant usually watch one video? Did you ask them that? Because you are talking about their experience. If you are talking about experience, so you need to ask this kind of thing. How many times each participant watch one video? One only? Twice? More than
I asked them about the frequency, whether they watch data videos often, sometimes, or rarely.
No, it's not accurate. You should ask them specifically how many times, because if it is related to viewing, so you cannot just say frequently. Frequently is how frequent is frequent. Like how big is big, because big for you and for me could be different. Small for you and for me quite could have different meanings. So you need to be specific if we are talking about students' experience in using video, for example. So you need to give more specific information so we can see the portrait. Okay, like if students watch times, for example. So we can put it into the word frequent. We can use the word frequent if we have a description what we mean by frequent. So you can limit yourself. How many times is frequent? Is frequent more than 5 times? Is rarely more than less than twice? Is one only called is one included into rarely or what? Because each word you use like frequent, rarely should have clear meaning. In if it is related to viewing, how many times they use it? Because it is very important information. You just get information that a frequent member, frequent, how many frequent it is, how many times it is. So you need to get more information about it if possible. Okay, and about the imitation itself, how did they imitate? Because you mentioned they imitate when they are doing public speaking, right? So when before they do the public speaking themselves in front of others, okay, do they or did they make any practice on that? Did they do any practice, recorded themselves in video form, or they practice with their friends, or what? How they imitate and practice? Do you have any information about it?
So one of my participants answered they imitate and practice in front of the mirror, ma'am. So before they have presentation in public speaking class, they practice themselves in front of the mirror to imitate the TED Talk speakers.
How about the others?
And one of the participants told me that they imitate the speakers in the terms of pronunciations. So after, say for example, they watch the videos, and after they post it, if they find some difficulties in pronouncing some vocabulary, so they watch and then they post and they post and then they imitate how to spell the words correctly.
Okay. So such information is important. So this is related to verbal language, right? It is related to verbal language. So in terms of improving their language competence, their ability of in speaking, okay, so they imitate this way, then you elaborate. So you can classify how many people, for example, like, okay, they're doing imitation by doing this, this, and this, and then you explain and you give examples or you give excerpt from your interview, for example. So it will be clear what they do for the practice, what they do in doing imitation. So your article will be rich. Okay, so it will be good if you can organize it and how they use, how they imitate the verbal language, how they imitate the non-verbal language. Do everyone do that? Do everyone imitate the non-verbal one? Because you mentioned mannerism. What do you mean by mannerism here? Okay, you need to explain clearly. Okay. And then the next one here, 14th, so there are 4 left. Now, page 6. So it is related to your reference and what you have mentioned, still related to verbal and non-verbal and your focus. Theoretically, actually, how many aspects can you find in public speaking? Because you mentioned 4 aspects in your research questions 3, the answer of research question 3. Okay, you mentioned 4 aspects and all related to non-verbal, right? Okay, now what about the verbal one here? So all aspect you mentioned here related to speech delivery, right? But the movement, facial expression, and so on and so forth. Now, what about the content itself? Do you think that talk here, or did your participant mention that that talk help them to to help them to improve the content of their language, of their the content of their speech or not. Okay, because you mentioned reference, and in your reference, I see the video here. The title of the book you write there is about aspects of public speaking, but the citation you put about the video is only about the types of public speaking, not the aspect of public speaking. So please read again from the video here, how many aspects, okay? And perhaps it is classified by verbal and non-verbal. So it will help you to organize your finding and discussion better because you have theoretical background for that. It will help you a lot. Okay. The next questions related to the checkbox here. This one. Okay, nah, this one. Ini kan aspek ya, the aspect you mentioned. Eye contact, gesture, body movement, facial expression. The one I protest you because I want you to also to show the verbal one if you focus on both of them. The frequency. You have 20 participants. You use checkbox. Okay. You use checkbox and ask them to answer the checkbox. I see it from the Google form that you use checkbox too. But why? It is only 20. So you don't ask. They only it's on like this one. 9 people only learn eye contact. They only learn one aspect of the non-verbal or what? Because this information is weird for me. It's weird for me. So if there are 4 aspects like that, and you have participants, you have 20 participants. So at least perhaps 15 students choose eye contact, and for the gesture, well, about 12 students, for example. So yeah, they not like this, and the total of the frequency of the 20, yeah, it's weird. Can you explain this?
So actually, one student can choose more than one since the type of the question is checkbox assessment. Yes.
So where it happened actually?
So yesterday I tried to count it using SPS assessment by looking for the frequency of
No.
distribution.
My question is why it happened. Why it seems one student only choose one aspect? Why it happened? Do you know why it happened? Did you ask them in the interview why it happened? Why you choose only one? Do you only what is it? Only get some progress in one aspect only? Did you ask them that?
No, ma'am.
Confirmation. So you need
the confirmation. The confirmation is put after the checkbox assessment. The reason why they choose eye contact, the reason why they choose gesture, and etc.
Are you sure they only each of them here of the 20 here? Okay, among the 20 students here, each of them only have one aspect to choose.
No, ma'am.
So you need to find more information about this thing. Okay, because I don't know. It's just not valid for me. It's just not valid for me. The information is too weird. Okay, and then the last 2. For the conclusion, please read the conclusion. You don't need to restate finding and discussion, but conclude. So from the finding and discussion, what is your conclusion? What you can conclude from the phenomena, from what happened to the students related to TED Talk? Okay, and I write this because I happen to see many students still confused between finding, discussion, and conclusion. So please read the conclusion again. Okay, try to make it concise, short and concise. State only what you really conclude. Okay, really conclude from what you have found. So 17 here is the additional one related to your Google form, because you put your Google form in the article. I don't think you need to put it in the article. Just explain the instrument in the instrument part in the methodology. So you don't need to show the G form in the journal, because they have very limited numbers. So it's better for you to state it in the laboratory. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you. Sorry if I speak too much. Aduh, sampai mau keluarin tisunya semua loh. Oke, thank you. Nggak apa-apa, daripada nanti kamu ditolak di jurnalnya karena kurang lengkap, kan mendingan diperbaiki sekali.
Yeah.
Yes, Pak Munir, back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Sroin, Bu Wiwit, for your feedbacks and clarification, as well as direction for revision. Yeah, my turn now. So to comment on Pak Sroi's feedbacks and Bu Wiwit's direction for revision. As me, I think you need to once again make sure that the data that you collect are reached and reported accordingly. Yeah, if you can see the ways that you present your data, especially for the ways of using that talk. Yeah, I think you didn't put descriptive statistics there, while others you provide with descriptive statistic, and I believe that you have data for that. You know, how many have, for example, made use of imitation, for example, how many have, and so on and so forth. Yeah, instead of reporting the findings in words like that, it will, because you've got questionnaire, so it will be more convincing if you also provide descriptive statistics. Yeah, and I think we need to highlight the importance of that one, good discussion. Yeah, I believe that your theory, yeah, the theory or your literature review on TED Talks, aspects of TED Talks, learned ways of using TED Talks, are many that you quoted previously. And each of your findings from each research question, yeah, has actually to be related to that, yeah, to the theory. Yeah, I see. Yeah, yes, you responded to my feedback to add discussion, but only 1 or 2 sentences. Yeah, that's not enough. That's not a discussion. That is only a response, not a discussion. Yeah. Okay, a discussion is always long. Yeah, lengthy. Yeah, because what is the purpose of a discussion? To have a common agreement. Yeah. Remember, you know, I also put a statement like this. You need to provide the contribution, yeah, of your research to the existing theory, existing knowledge, the people's knowledge about TED Talks and so on. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what the ELT forum has to what is it, said the words. Yeah, I think if the length of the article should be this length, yeah, then you need to make some information in your article compact, yeah, deleting unnecessary information and inserting more information as requested by Bu Wiwit and Pak Asrori. You know, honestly speaking, I was surprised to find that the one that you put is actually ALT forum, yeah, while the one that I commented was NLD, yeah, new language dimension. Yeah, so the last change of the target journal shouldn't be made. Actually, I was thinking that you could make it later after our examination, that you change it to other journals, yeah, not when you, so that my feedbacks may not be 100% fit to the journal that you are targeting. Gitu ya, jadi ya kemarin harusnya ditahan dulu ngirim ke ELT forum atau mengubah ke ELT forum karena komentar saya dulu di NLD gitu ya. Anyway, let's see how the examiners would think, yeah, about your article, and I would like to ask you to leave a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, and then come back to the meeting as soon as possible. Leave and then come back in 5 minutes, okay? Because we want to hear the decision later after 5 minutes. Okay, please leave.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Nah, ini anak ini mengubah ini, ternyata mengubah ini target jurnalnya terakhir itu. Padahal kemarin saya ya, belakangan aja kalau kamu mau ngirim ke situ, kan kemarin udah ngomong di NLD dulu di
Tapi di NLD ini kalau misalnya kepingin Juni udah dua dari UNESA, Pak. Satu punyanya mahasiswa sampean Sinilam itu, satu punyanya mahasiswanya Pak Hakim.
Ya berarti yang lain aja ya.
Karena nggak bisa, karena maksimal kan 2. Itu aja sudah Pak Slamet wis. Ajane ku siji. Setelah Pak dulu hasil review-nya dhisik Pak aku ngono. Ini mah barusan aja sebelum aku ikut nguji ini tadi kan lagi rame nang NLD.
Ya nggak apa-apa kalau itu ELT forum itu ya. Tapi memang kan kalau ASMI ini kan punya inisiatif, jadi seringkali seperti itu. Gitu. Nah, saya nggak ada masalah kan juga nih. Ya, arek-arek nulis begini ya wis lumayan lah. Jadi memang beberapa hal ya, saya kira secara umum mahasiswa kita itu kurang bisa menulis diskusi gitu ya. Ya biasanya kurang. Padahal kemarin wis tak anu kan. Kasih contoh.
Yang sebenarnya aku bingung itu mereka itu gini bahkan kan mahasiswaku ya si Deva itu misalnya finding cuma disusun, saya bingung mem kalau digabung mem ya guys ngono lah kan disesuaikan sama template jurnalnya kan nggak sama kesoa ngono. Kamu sesuaikan, kamu baca artikel-artikel yang sudah dimuat nang kono itu sebagai contohmu. Discussion itu kan kamu comparing sama artikel penelitian sebelumnya, kamu cari theoretical framework yang mendukung atau yang menolak kan kayak gitu. Tapi saya bingung, bingung kalau bocon kan kalau kakak ngomong bocon sih, aku ya gono Pak. Memang anak-anak itu nggak punya referensi itu dan aku nggak ngerti di mata kuliah apa missingnya ini sehingga mereka tidak bisa membuat discussionnya itu.
Harusnya di mata kuliah thesis proposal writing itu ada juga, ada tambahan dikit ya no. Ya memang juga dosen skripsinya sih harusnya pembimbing skripsi yang ini. Tapi aku wis ngasih aku kan wis duwe video nulis gitu juga ada sesi. Tapi ya wis itulah hasilnya. Terus ya balik ini dibandingkan Nilam saya kira lebih baik ya gitu.
Iya betul.
Masih beta gitu ya. Kemarin durung tak isekno aja. Sampeyan isi dhewe
Mas. Tak isene ya, Pak.
Ya, aku supaya supaya HI sampean itu tidak dilanggar gitu ya.
Siapa tadi itu? Asmina. Ini mungkin ada informasi yang sebetulnya dia punya, tapi nggak dia tulis.
Iya. Nah itu, kayaknya begitu kayaknya.
Banyak
datanya
yang tidak. Yang dilaporkan kan cuma segitu toh, ya.
Betul. Makanya kan cuma kira itu 6 ya.
Sementara Google Form-nya itu pertanyaannya lebih banyak
Iya.
digandengkan yang ada di situ itu
Iya.
kan. Garek iki hamene itu masa monoton. Sementara informasinya dia tuh harusnya lebih kaya bagaimana
Iya,
itu dilakukan dan segala
betul,
macam
betul.
itu. Jadi
Iya.
dia perlu menggali lagi. Kalau perlu dia 1-2 kali menanya lagi lah untuk konfirmasi ke participants-nya yang bersedia untuk itu, untuk menanyakan hal yang
Iya.
tanya-tanyakan tadi. Karena itu penting untuk di jurnalnya.
Iya wis sekarang tak panggil arek saya yang mengumumkan adalah ketuanya, ketua ini.
Apa ketua ya?
Caas. Ya,
Caas aja lali
gitu.
ya. Enggak janjian sampai bojoku. Aja sampai mobil terus.
Aku lali Mbak Wit.
Caas
Besok aku
lali boleh
telepon
kok
kan.
ngejari kono.
Besok aku telepon kan gak nyambung, gak kakak. Besok awan ya aku telepon kakak jam 12-an.
Apa kira?
Terus aku jam 4
Quran.
jam setengah 5 bekne ya. Mulih ku tutuk ntaran duh iya aku gak telepon mana. Terus pas alamat telepon aku wis mulih.
Misalnya dia kan ngurusi beta-beta itu jari ini pegel karena ngurusi beta-beta gak usah ditinggal ada sisa di selimur teleponan. Jadi nek mari baru iso.
Yes.
Ya wis, itu Pak.
Terus masuk meneh. Halo Azmi.
Halo Asmi. Are you ready to hear your
Result.
decision, the result?
I think it is not going to be that dramatic with because it is only a kind of journal review, article review on what have written down. Azmi, you got a lot of suggestions from Bu Wiwit and also from Pak Munir and also from me on your article. Seems that you missed some points that actually you can explore more, because as being explained by Bu Wiwit, that your Google form seems that can cover more broader result than what you have written down on your article. That is why then you have to see your article on more, and then try to see your Google form you got, and also based on the Bu Wiwit, the examiners and also supervisors' opinion and also suggestions, you can revise your article. And Pak Munir and also Bu Wiwit have also declared that you passed the articles reviews, today's examination. Congratulations. But yes, as been explained by Pak Munir, that you had to revise your article based on Bu Wiwit, Pak Munir, and also my notes and also suggestion. So congratulations on your today's articles review, and then please revise it soon and then send it to us, and also to us, to get this. I think that is enough for today. Azmi, thank you, Bu Wiwit, thank you, Pak Munir.
Thank you.
For today.
Thank you.
Hopefully then Azmi can directly revise the article based on the suggestion from the exam.
Okay, thank you, Pak Asoli, Bu Wiwit. I think you need to start, thinking of the revision as soon as possible. I think Bu Wiwit can send you the list, and Pak Asoli will also send you the file which is highlighted already. Thank you. I think our session today is near the end. You can close this session. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Can you leave very soon? Ask me. Yes. Because I need to speak with Pak Asrori, Bu Wiwit, once more.